Hello friends, I am going to speak for the lecture which is the part of course Migrative Women's Literature. The area or the issue to which I am going to share my thoughts and experiences is Sociology of Migration and Overview. So this is very important in many ways in the sense that globalization has emerged migration has emerged in a very big way. I think, of course, we all know pretty well that migration is happening since the dawn of human civilization. But if you see the scenario of migration today, I think it has become the part and parcel of the society, and it has become, in fact, the inevitable part of the society or any social phenomena. So how we can see this migration today from the sociological perspective, that has become very, very important. So let me try to explain it to you, the relevance, significance of the sociology of migration today. So we all know that migration is a social phenomena that engages the movement of people from one place to another. This is a major area of study in sociology, in the discipline of sociology. It involves the sociological analysis of immigration concerning race, ethnicity, social structure, political policy, etc., and many more things. So this becomes very important. Some concepts which is considered in the domain of sociology is like assimilation, inculturation, marginalization, post-colonialism, multiculturalism, transnationalism, social cohesion, which are the part which are very much included in the field of sociology of migration. So this is very, very important that we must discuss in great details about that. It is also significant in the context of sustainable migration through the role of social remittances and socio-cultural changes under the vision of sustainable development goals, which is the very important agenda of the SDG 2030 of the which is initiated by the United Nations. So here it becomes very important to understand the very meaning and definition of the sociology of migration. So sociology of migration can be defined as a social phenomenon because the social occurrence of migration exists in the specific time and the social space. A consequence of social space and time defines the aspects of the sociology of migration in the context of the globalization of the sociology of migration. So if we see the scenario today, I think globalization has impacted every discipline. So is the case of sociology. So how sociology of migration can be understood today, I think that has become very, very important if we wish to understand different facets and the dimensions of migration in the contemporary times. So here it becomes very important to understand what are the global scenario, what kind of trends which is happening today. If you see the scenario, I think every year for a long period of time, the trends of migration, the number of migration of migrant workers are increasing like anything around the world. So more than 281 million migrant workers across the world, according to 2021, the data provided by the World Bank. And these migrant workers constitute 3.5% of the world population. See the situation, and when we talk of the migration around the world, I think women constitute almost 50%. So here it is given that women constitute about 48% of the total population or migrant population. So India is also considered to be a very important country, or it is a leading country. So India figures among the top 10 migrant countries in the world. And further, if you see, 74% of the all international migrants were the working age group of running into 20 to 64 years. This is very important in the sense that this age group is considered to be very economically active or young, means working age population. And more than half of the world, all international migrants, which is right now 141 million, who lives in the Europe and Northern America. So Europe and Northern America is the country over there. Majority of the migrants go over there, and that they go from the South Asia or the South Bloc, we can say. More than, and this is also very interesting to discuss and to understand that about 25 million migrants are living in the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, which is also called as Gulf countries, which consists of 6 countries: Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, and then Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. So this is very important to understand. If we see one feature and one significant feature of this GCC, which came into being in 1981. If you see, I think this region, this is also considered as a region that is called Gulf region. So here, if you see the total population, that is very interesting to discuss, that more than 50% of the population in that region are the expatriates or the foreigners. So this is very interesting to understand this kind of situation. And if you see the recent reports provided by the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs in 2020, there are about 281 millions of migrants across the globe. That is accounting a total of 3.5% of the total world population. So if you have a look on the data provided for 2 decades since the dawn of first century, the 21st century, so if you see this scenario in 2000, I think it was 2.8%, almost 173 million. And after a gap of 5 years, in 2005, I think it has gone up to 191, 2.9. And then in 2010, I think it has gone up to 220. That constitute 3.2%. So what basically I am putting before all of you learners, that this is the phenomena, that is the migration which is taking place very rapidly, and this is on account of the globalization also, because globalization has speeded up, basically that has forced, that has increased the mobility in a big way. So here if you see the latest data in 2020, so it has gone up to 281, 3.6%. So why I am highlighting? As we all know that it has become the reality, means migration has become the reality, and due to porous nature of the nation state, and I think this is also in many ways positive, because if you see these sustainable development goals, I think it is considered as one of the very important agents through which development is possible, and it can, if we regulate the migration, if we manage the migration in a better way, I think it is going to contribute in the progress and the development of the society or the nation at the global level. So that has considered as a very important vehicle or the engine or the tool through which development is that has become very important. So let us try to understand this thing, because here this course is basically going to deal with migrated women's literature, means gender has become very important. So when we consider migration, I think we see that we have not made much justice with this gender, means women, in the sense that they have never been considered. When we talk of the challenges of migration, I think we need to see the challenges being faced by the male and the challenges being faced by the female. That is entirely different. So we need to address the challenges, especially to the women, because they constitute almost 50% of the population, and this is very interesting to understand, and it is happening at the global level. If you see this migration, especially in North America and the Europe, I think their number is more than the male part. So this is very important to understand, as it is given in 2020. International female migration was 135 million, or just under half. Means, as we have seen that 48% of all international migrants worldwide were women or the girls. While most migrant women move for labor, education or family reasons, many are forced to leave their countries due to conflict or persecution. We all know that. And this is also very important to understand. And of course, if you see these migrations are also, migrant women are important agents of change. They transform social, cultural and political norms and promote positive social change across households and the communities. If you see the contribution of migrants, women migrants, they have contributed immensely, and they are going to contribute immensely in the progress and the development of the nation or the society. I think if you see their contribution is found, and because there is a study done by many scholars, migration experts or the migration scholars, they have come with their ideas or their findings that their contribution is also very important as so far as the case of male migration is concerned. So we need to discuss this in details, and there is a need to study these phenomena so that we can come with the possible solution as how we are going to address the challenges which are being faced by the women. That is also very important. So data has been given, and if you see this scenario, important migrants by gender, I think we will get to know almost 50%. I think if you see this scenario over here, since 2000 and 2020, so a little bit sometimes more, sometimes just above. So this kind of scenario is there. Why we need to discuss this role of women in global migration? Because they contribute as much as their counterpart. So there is a need to understand this phenomena in a big way, or in a rational way, or in a positive way, so that we can understand their agony, their social conditions, or because they face a lot of problems. Even the challenges which are being faced by the women are many folds more than what the male gender or the male migrants face. So this is very important, and here data has been given. If you see the 147, and then in case of females 134, so not much. But if you see the study and research about this, I think not much is there. So there is a need to study, there is a need to understand the problems related to women. So I am very happy to discuss this thing, because you all are the budding scholars, you all are the learners, so you need to understand this phenomenon, migration or diaspora. I think that is very important to understand, and different perspective. It is also, we understand that migration is being studied, migration or diaspora, these are the issues that are being studied by economists, because that is very important, even sociologists or even political scientists or the IR experts. So everybody is now concerned as how to understand this phenomena, because this phenomena is emerging in a very big way, and it is interdisciplinary also. So in order to understand the complexity of the migration of the migrants, so today or in this contemporary time, unless until you, the scholars or the learners, come forward to understand this phenomena, I think problems are not going to be resolved. How we are going to reap the benefits of the migration endeavor? Because now in the sustainable development, I think this is considered to be very important one, as we all know that. So role of women in migration, a sociological perspective. So here we have understood that in 2020, almost 50% of all international migrants worldwide were women or the girls. While most migrant women move for labor, education, family reasons, or many are forced to leave their countries due to conflict or persecution, women and girls comprised around half of the all persons forcibly displaced across national boundaries in 2020. Migrant women are important agents of change. They transform social, cultural, and political norms and promote positive social change across households and the communities. So this is very important to understand. So these are the statements which has been studied by the UN Women 2017. So just I have quoted over here. So what are the proportion of women and girls among all international migrants, which has been provided by the World Bank Income Group at destination at 2000 and 2020. So what is the global scenario? So if you see, I think it is 49%, and of course not much less is there in 48. And if you see the in terms of the income, high income countries 49%, and then 47%, middle income countries again 51 and 49, low income countries 49.5 and then 50.5. So this is very important to understand. So in terms of the area, if you see north and the south corridor migration, here are some of the other facts which need to be understood by the scholars like all of you. So if you see the south, means south is the origin of around 74% of all international migrants. When we see the south means north and south I am talking of. And in 2019, 35% of all international migrants were born in the south, but were living in the north. So this is very interesting to understand. I think this phenomena in 2019, 39% of all were born in a developing country and were living in another country of the country. So over 1/3 of all international migration is between countries of the global south. So migration from South Asia to the Middle East, which is also, Middle East is also called as the South Asia, because we the Indian scholars call it West Asia, where the Western scholars call it Middle East, which is the largest south-south migration corridor in the world. And if you see the scenario in case of South Asia, especially to India, I think 9 million or approximately 9 million Indians are working in that region, and they remit huge remittances to India. So India is benefited, and we have had a very strong relations with that region since time immemorial, and our relations are being strengthened for having a lot of things, and we have many common factors, historical legacy and all that. So this is very interesting. So let us now come to the point of the phenomena of sociology of migration. I think if you see the phenomenon, so with this diagram we can better understand how sociology of migration works and how we can study migration, with the sociological perspective, with the sociological understanding. So sociology of migration basically provides the opportunity over there. Social value is created and social norms are there, and that is ultimately lead to the integration, assimilation and socialization. And in this globalized era, I think this becomes very important to understand these phenomena, because in sociological terms, when we talk of I think culture, assimilation, and then socialization, integration, social values, norms, I think these are the very important one, and they all have been diluted today, and there is a challenge, there is a crisis, because globalization has brought a lot of not only economic change, because there is a free flow of transfer of technology, mobility, human mobility, these all are happening. So I think it has also the sociological impact, and we all know that what kind of society is being created. So this phenomena is a very interesting phenomena, I mean sociology of migration. So we can understand this phenomena, unique phenomena, and the emerging and contemporary phenomena with the help of the sociological understanding. So I think at the initial stage, I think it has become very necessary to understand this, all these terminology and the concepts, so that we will be able to understand different kind of situation or different kind of phenomena which are emerging in a very big way. I think this is very important, and this is very interesting to understand by all the scholars or the readers who are interested to understand the different facets of the migration. And when we talk of women, again this becomes rather more important. So far as the case of integration is concerned, I think this is taken as a very positive kind of connotation, because when in the endeavor of migration, I think two society and the two countries are considered to be very important, or two places are considered to be very important. If the people are migrating from, say, for India to the Gulf, or from India to other parts of the world, I think the country of origin, India is a country of origin, and wherever they go, that is considered the country of host, or the what we call a receiving country. So when we go over there, I think there is a possibility of integration, and here all these concepts which we all used to discuss has some sort of challenge, in the sense that take the example of transnationalism. So today, I think the other kind of society is going to be created, that is called global society. So all these concepts are going to be challenged. All these concepts are to be looked from the other perspective, contemporary perspective, because globalization has brought the entire world at one place, as we often call that now. We are talking of the global society. So all these assimilation, socialization, or integration, all these concepts are to be looked from different angles. So here it is very interesting to discuss or to understand this phenomena. So I think as a scholar of sociology of migration, since my background is sociology as well as the economics, so I have taken the issue to which I am going to discuss is sociology of migration, and then thereafter I will discuss about the economics of migration. So here I am going to focus about the sociology of migration. What are the perspective for the study of the sociology of migration? That is very, very important. I think here these are the two perspectives through which we can understand, and we should understand this phenomena, or this this issue, sociological issue. So one perspective which is called as the empirical perspective, which is we all know that only we can observe what is happening due to by the observation, direct and the indirect observation and the experiences. So with the help of what we call it eliciting the data, directly data from the society, from the respondents, we can understand this phenomena, we can understand the issue, what kind of challenges are being faced by the migrants, or especially the women migrants. So there is a need to understand by two methods. One is called quantitative and the other one is qualitative. So both the I think both the method or the way is going to provide a possible solution to the issues to which women or even the migrants face. As we all know that when you leave your own nation or your own country, your own society, I think after going to the other society or the new places, I think you or someone becomes very vulnerable. So migrants are considered to be very vulnerable sections of the society. So here it becomes very important to understand the pathetic situation or the working and living conditions of migrant workers, because we all know pretty well that migration has become the need of the day, and it is inevitable. Since the dawn of human civilization or history, it is going on and it will continue to go. So the point is not that how to stop control migration, but it is very important to understand that irregular kind of migration must be stopped with the policies intervention. But if the people are going, if the migrants are going to different parts of the world, or even within the country, I think that is going to happen. So how we are going to provide the possible solution means how to bring the governance, good governance is the issue. How we can manage the migrant workers or the migrants are the issue. If we will be able to manage the migration, I think it would be very important one, and they are going to contribute to the I think whole society as well as the country of origin or the labor sending countries or the migrants origin countries. And there is a study, a lot of empirical studies has been done, and we have come with the idea and we have understood that their contribution is immense. When I discuss the economics of migration, I will provide some of the statistical facts and the figures to make the points more clear. And of course, when the theoretical perspective is of course also very important. There are several theories of migration in order to understand the movement of the people. So many theories are there, like lease, push or pull theory, neoclassical theory, neo-economic theory, migration system theory. So I am not going to dwell upon because it must have been discussed by someone else, and you can understand. I think just my idea is to make you understand how this sociology of migration is important for all of you. That is very important. Thank you, Bolne, thank you so much.